Welcome to the loop.
Whoa! Hey, everybody. It's that time of the year where you watch the loop. I mean, really, that's every week. But
hopefully, it's not just once a year.
It's just hopefully, but if it is just once a year, thank you for joining us. Yeah. It's the Loop. It's a talk show about video games. My name is Eric, and I'm joined, as always, by Kyle.
Hola.
And the head of me.
That's me.
Well, okay, it's
Come
Mario.
On, I thought, gaming. Just let it go.
And Trevor.
Hi.
Trevor's there. I like that. Trevor's excited.
My voice almost didn't happen there.
I'm glad your voice happened.
So excited to be here.
Hi.
No, it is the Loop. We are thrilled to join you. We are thrilled to be in your ears and in your eyes and anywhere else
You want us.
that you would like us to be right now in this place and time. You know, like we could be on a stereo, maybe like in their living room.
Ooh.
Or they could be listening to us on a desktop
Do people
computer
still
while
have
they
stereos?
work. I do. I have a stereo with like a nice little shelf stereo with a little vinyl player.
I've got one in my car.
Apple's got that new.
I want it so bad.
What home
HomePod.
pod? Yeah.
I saw the price tag and I was like, I want it, but I don't know that I want it quite
So
that bad.
it's
How
like-
much is it?
It's like an Echo,
three-
but 4 times the
350.
price.
350.
Right?
Holy crap.
And it doesn't do things on the internet.
It doesn't buy things
It's
for
about
you.
music, man.
I
and
bought a
it is
Google
about
Home
music.
thing for $30.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it doesn't play music like this
Not
thing does.
to the quality. This is like.
Okay, it's that funny thing of like when Apple makes something expensive and everybody
Yeah.
complains, which is true. I get it. I'm not.
It is
I'm not.
true.
I'm not discrediting that. But then you watch, unless maybe there's a secret like Illuminati thing where Apple pays all of these tech companies to say nice things about them. But like, I was looking at this article that took the reviews for it from like all these other tech blogs, and like nobody could say a bad thing about it because it is so
hope so.
technologically advanced. Like, we should not be talking about this, but anyways, you stick it, like if you stick it in a corner, it uses like IR or something to detect its
I thought it was
surroundings.
the sound waves. It actually.
I don't know what-
detected.
something-
It listens to itself.
So it knows what, like if it knows sound is bouncing off the wall really close to it, it'll adjust the speaker volume and the output
three-dimensionally
to where, it'll make the sound better for that spot you put it in. So no matter where you place it, it's going to have like the like perfect
the right
sound.
room sound.
And it's like, that is so cool. It's just, I mean, as an audiophile, like I love to just like hear everything in a recording. Like I want to hear everything they put into it. I want to know every little like bleep and bloop
the way
and
they
like
meant it to be
harmony
heard.
and everything.
Yeah.
Like that's just so cool that you could have a device that would just do it.
So
Mainly,
can
I want to get
connect
it.
this to my video games.
Maybe. I don't know that you would want to, but maybe you could Bluetooth. I just want it like for my office at work so I can just like I have an open office and I just want to be able to like crank music and annoy everyone whenever I want to. Like that's really my goal. I just be like, let's listen to some Kanye now. So
Trevor's glad he doesn't work with you anymore.
I know. It'll be good, Trevor.
Although you did
Anything
teach
only
me
one-
that there is no sort of like pre-existing thing. I just genuinely hate Kanye. Because I would listen to something, I was like, this is terrible. And then you'd say something about, this is Kanye. I was like, oh, well, yep. There you are.
You know, we
Hey,
can't
Trev,
all have
what's
good
up?
taste in music, Trevor.
Yeah, it's true.
okay.
Yeah, you're right. We all can.
Oh, man. No, it's
Sorry,
fine.
Trevor, you're outnumbered on this.
No, not really.
2 to 1.
I'm assuming that
In this-
Jeremy does not like Kanye. And
I've had you play Kanye to me, and I was
that
like,
sounds romantic, actually.
and honestly, I was like, I get why Eric likes this.
Yeah, I
That's
get-
exactly how I thought
Okay,
it. You know,
so it's not like a hate thing. It's
Yeah,
just a.
it's like
not
I
my,
get why you like it.
Yeah.
I
Kuipers,
don't hate him.
Kuipers, you need to give us a yay or nay on Kanye.
Nay, personally.
Oh well, see, I think that we're outnumbered, Kyle.
I
There you go.
I
He's
don't
not tub
hate him.
proper, though.
I don't enjoy his music at all. So
now that we don't care about copyright, maybe we should just spend some time viewing Kanye
No,
West.
I care about copyright.
I think that
Games.
We should save it for tomorrow.
Welcome to the Loop, a talk
save
show
it for
about
tomorrow.
Kanye West.
Actually, let's do it. Let's do an episode about Kanye West.
We just listen to his best
The two
work
of you.
why are we talking about Kanye?
because this is the Loop, a talk show about video games.
and hip hop.
And it's ironic, really, that that's what it's called, because really it's just whatever we decide to talk about. What happened to the sow last Thursday? We killed it and made bacon.
Yeah.
Made some bacon.
No, he's asking about the show. We didn't. It's on YouTube, so if you'd like to watch it, we just recorded it offline because we had some major internet issues.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
Which hopefully
Cox
are-
is
Bad.
We'll
The
see if
worst.
they're better tonight, but they haven't been great.
Seems like we're doing okay. Kuipers, we in the green.
Yeah, we're in the green.
All right,
We're
good.
in the green,
We're in the
folks.
green, so we're good. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
I'm drinking one of these twisted mango Diet Cokes.
because you're a millennial.
Because I'm a millennial, I fall
Oh my
right on
gosh.
that. And it's delicious.
I
But
don't mean to take us off topic again, but did you see the commercial for that? For those?
Isn't it
at
Anne
least-
Hathaway or something?
It's not. I hope it's not like people handing like rioters drinks.
No,
though.
it wasn't
Yeah,
that.
that did not go
it
over
was,
well.
It was about the most millennial commercial I saw. I thought at the end it was going to
So
be
you
a joke.
identified with it, right? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, because I identify as, with all the millennials.
You are.
You're
one, though.
almost sub-millennial.
I'm like so
Post-millennial.
Yeah,
No, you're like post-millennial almost.
You're like
No,
so
but
beyond millennial.
I totally expected it to be a joke, like them to say something at the end and be like, "Haha, this is so funny."
Really?
And it wasn't.
Oh man.
I was shocked.
Hey,
That's a
TP.
bummer.
Hey, Trevi.
Hey,
Welcome.
welcome everybody that's in the chat. I think
Now we
Jolliver's
can
there.
really talk about games.
I didn't mean to interrupt what you were saying, though, Eric. You had something.
Oh no, I was just saying. I tried all the flavors of the new Diet Coke.
Are they good?
The cherry Coke is just the cherry Diet Coke is just cherry Diet Coke. They call it Twisted or something. It's the same recipe. You can tell it's the same thing.
Yeah.
The orange is my least favorite.
Oh.
The blood orange.
That seems kind of weird.
It's fine. It's all right, but and then the lime ginger is fine too. It's good, but I think the twisted mango is kind of that right mix of citrus and Diet Coke. If that's
that
something
sounds
that
like
you,
it would go with Diet Coke.
It weirdly does, yeah. And I'm also kind of on a dried mango kick too. I love eating the dried mango. It's so good. So maybe I'm just on a mango kick in general. That's probably the problem.
Mango is pretty good.
I used to think I didn't like it, but man, I was wrong.
Kind of don't.
You were wrong.
Anyways, yes, the video games. What's everybody been playing? I'm gonna go ahead and say that there's at least a couple games that we have been playing a lot.
Yep.
I know Monster Hunter's up there.
Yep.
Monster Hunter World. I know
Just
that
barely
that
started.
Some Sea of Thieves is definitely. We played some of that on a live stream Tuesday.
We did.
Was it Tuesday? No, it was Monday. Monday night.
Yeah, it was Monday night.
But I don't know. What else has everybody been playing? Anybody else want to jump in there?
I can jump in.
Okay, go.
Subnautica
Now that just got its official release, correct?
For the PC. It's
for PC.
Trevi says Monster Hunter. We are going to talk about Monster Hunter. Trust
Yes.
us.
Yep.
Yep.
But just we're going to kind of bait.
Yeah,
you.
so I think it's still early access on
Masterfully.
Xbox, I think. But no, on PC, picked it up, been playing it. It is beautiful and addictive.
Yeah.
And
It's kind of that
It's-
Minecraft thing of like go exploring and collecting and then like creating your own things, but it's like way more like it's not blocky. It's more.
no, so it's kind of like a certain space game that you know.
Oh, okay.
I just
If you
pulled
know what
up.
I'm
I was
talking
trying to
about.
find some
does- I
information
can see
about
that.
it, and I just found an
Yeah,
article that
there you
said
go.
Subnautica gave me the experience I wanted from No Man's Sky.
There
Yeah.
you go. And the fact that it's underwater, it just makes everything. It's gorgeous.
Well,
It's a gorgeous game to play.
What I like about it is how the progression. You kind of have to choose how you want to progress. Like, do
and
you
they
wanna,
don't tell you anything.
Yeah. Do you want to like build ways to have more air, to carry more air on your exploration?
Correct.
Like, you want to pipe air
you can,
certain
you
ways.
can build
and-
your own underwater, building or whatever.
The goofiest part is you can like build like an apartment underwater, and then you can put aquariums in there.
Correct.
But
Wait a second.
But there's even more to it because at a certain point in your evolution of your creations, there's eggs that you can find. There are different kinds of species, and I haven't done it yet, and I haven't looked on the internet to verify. But what it feels like is at some point you're gonna be able to like hatch these new creatures and
like with the
potentially have
eggs.
pets. Yeah. So I'm kind of excited about where it's headed. There's you're talking about different ways to play. You can do your own little apartment thing, but then they got these tubes with air pumps, and you could literally make it so you can breathe everywhere underwater without a tank, because you could just get enough tubes and put little air tubes everywhere, so you
that's
can just
cool.
move between the tubes. But I've started going deep down. I just got a radiation suit.
Creepy.
It gets really creepy. It
it's like
gets
pitch
super
black,
scary.
right?
It gets really black. You get a flashlight. That you,
This
what
looks
you make
really
it.
cool.
Well, and sometimes the monsters, if you're in your sub, they'll like just come out of nowhere and they'll just like grab the front of your sub and you're like,
Yeah, mine. My underwater thing. I started building
Submarine?
It. No, this
Mini sub.
There's a
Yeah, the mini
there's
sub.
like a
There's, like,
mini
huge-
sub that you crash land in the water outside of your ship that crashes. That's the opening sequence. But then you can build an underwater platform and put pods on it and solar panels and really kind of build out your technology. So I started building mine out, and I went too big too fast. And you have to maintain the pressure inside of this thing. And all of a sudden it warned me that, and I was inside of it, that it was getting hull damage. And
Oh, that's
all of a
cool.
sudden, like, I didn't think it was going to do it, but all of a sudden water, like, gushed in through a, like, broken glass, and like, part of the thing broke out. And the only way to fix it is basically to tear out that piece and rebuild it. And, oh, man.
That's crazy.
It freaked me out, because then that whole level filled with water.
Yeah.
It was like,
That's so
oh,
cool.
no, what's going on?
Now it's on
So-
Steam. It's official release
Correct.
on
Official
Steam.
release on
It's
Steam.
still in early access. Technically, it's through the game's
is,
preview
yeah.
program
Right.
on Xbox.
Xbox,
So
and it
I
is
can
supposed to
imagine-
be on PlayStation at some point this year,
Yeah.
I believe.
I can imagine that one being pretty good on consoles.
we are talking
I think
about
so.
Subnautica
Subnautica.
Digiport.
But anyway, super excited. Yeah, Digi, I think, has been playing that game as well. So
TP Poker says, Leisure Suit Larry. We probably won't be talking about that.
Yeah, probably
No,
not.
it's not family friendly enough.
Yeah, I don't think
Also,
anyone's
it's
been
ancient.
playing it.
anyway, that's what I've been
I
playing.
don't, the thing that I see, like, just watching some of the gameplay trailer for this game, I think that the reason that people are saying that this looks like what they hoped No Man's Sky was is because it looks like it's got a lot of that kind of generated stuff, but it's a lot more polished.
Correct.
Well, plus
and you
you
still
can-
have to do the same, like, you collect certain
the
types of
crafting on
minerals.
it is much more elaborate than No Man's
It
Sky. Like
absolutely
you can
is,
actually
yeah.
like craft
Computer
things that are
parts and-
important that help the progression. Where it didn't feel that way in No Man's Sky, other than like, oh, I bought this thing and somehow I upgraded my ship. Like it was just so behind the
Yep.
curtain. Where this is
Gotcha.
like,
Somehow this makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess.
what about before we get to Monster Hunter, because I feel like we're gonna spend a lot of time on that. Let's talk a little bit about Sea of Thieves. We played the beta Monday night. It was a lot of fun. That game is so good that we sunk, like, we don't normally stream 3-hour streams. They're usually about 2 hours, and we like stream like over 3 hours on that game. I gotta say, my only reaction coming away from that is I'm really curious, because I've read a lot that it's not the full experience, that the beta is very stripped down from the actual game that's going to release in March, and I hope there's a lot more game to it. Like like I really like what I
It
played.
alluded to it if you looked at some of the harder, if you looked at the descriptions of some of the harder treasures or whatever, maps that you could buy.
Yeah. Because
But
I've heard
yeah.
there's like, but see, that's the thing is like, yeah, there are some, that was even in the beta. I think some people got to points where you could pick a treasure chest up that would make you drunk when you carried it.
Correct,
And
yeah.
so like
Yeah.
that like, and there's other ones that would be like a siren.
there were actual treasure maps that made you drunk.
No,
when
the
you
chest.
No, the chest. I
chest.
carried
Oh,
one of
okay.
those.
So once you get the
It
chest,
was
you
nuts.
have to like try to get it back to your ship drunk. Like, and so
It's
I s-
difficult.
Can I say what the best part of our stream was that I thought I didn't even honestly conceive we could have done, but it was the end of it. It was when we got a chest. It was the second chest out of the mission.
that was a great
Because
sequence.
someone else,
That was
the
so
first chest out of the mission, we get it, and someone comes up and they blow us out of the water and they
Yeah.
attack us. We didn't even know where it
was
came
bad.
from. It was
Yeah.
terrible. But then, so this had a 2-part thing, and we went to get the second one, and we're like, okay, we're keeping, Trevor stayed on the ship, and he's like, I'm looking out for other pirates.
Constantly
and-
looking through a spyglass.
and then, who is it? Was it Kyle who got the chest originally, or Eric?
Yeah,
or-
Kyle.
And we get it on the ship, and we're getting ready to take off, and we start getting shot at.
And we made it quite a ways, though, too.
Yeah, so we're like out in the middle of the water. None of us really know exactly where we are.
For some reason, none of us decided to go up below deck and check it out. Anything.
And we start sinking, but you guys, one of you guys,
We'll see what the thing.
saved the. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I think what was funny about it is that we were out in the middle of the ocean. We think we're good. We got the chest. We're heading to an outpost.
We feel like.
And
This was near the end of our stream too.
And I'm like, all right, we're gonna end well here, and we're gonna wrap things up here in just a minute when we get to this outpost. And I don't know which one of us decided to go downstairs, and all of a sudden we hear, "Hey, there's a lot of water down here."
The second
and we
floor was already filling
Yeah,
up.
and it was up to the second floor, and there was no patching it. It was too late. We were like we had no clue
I
that
think
we were
had
taking on water.
We'd scraped the
Something, yeah.
the bottom of the floor or hit a rock or something.
And so the boat sinks, and we think, oh, we lost our treasure. Everything. Kyle says, hey, I got the treasure chest. We're good.
He went and back.
So
I was like, why am I suddenly standing in water? Oh, we're underwater. I need to go try and grab that chest, even though I tried that
I
like
jumped
2
overboard.
or 3 times.
I'm be honest.
There had been 2 or 3 times that I had been on a ship that was sinking and tried to grab it and not been successful. But I'm like, it feels like if you've got enough time before the ship completely disappears, you should still be able to pick up the treasure. And I think that even in like the trailer stuff that they showed in E3, there was a mission where there was like, oh, there's a sunken ship down there.
Yeah.
Let's go grab some treasure. So,
But I think it
made sense that would be something you should be able to do.
But it got better.
So the thing is, like, Kyle grabbed the chest, and we're like, well, let's swim a little bit and see what we can do.
And then I got eaten by a shark.
Yeah,
So
and-
I respawned with our boat like
way far away.
Way far away.
And then we come across Trevor, Kyle, and I come across a single player plane on a solo boat, and we come up to her, and I'm like, hey guys, I see a boat. Let's
Yeah.
You just
see.
like jumped on board.
Okay, let me explain what happened here. Is when we saw it. She, or at least the avatar was a female,
Right?
Is on the boat playing her Catalina, and I'm like, well, she seems friendly. She's not shooting at us, so
yeah, you were like, we found a friendly.
and so we get on the
Right.
boat, and she's just fine. She's just playing her thing, and like, hey, I got friends up here. And then all of a sudden, I'm just like, let's kill her and take the boat so we can get this to an outpost before she steals our
Right.
chest.
I didn't even. That's the part that blew my mind. Was like, you guys took her boat? What?
Well,
You
the
took
funny part
boat?
is, it was like we sunk, and by the time everybody had realized like what was going on, I was still like way underwater when Eric's like, "There's a boat up here, and they're not shooting at us." And I look up, and there's just this shadow, and I'm like, "All right, I'm just going right up there because I've got the treasure. So let's do this."
And so we get on the boat. I make the decision, which I know Mutiny Teddy was watching, and he was a little upset at me for being a bad guy. But I was.
Can we call him out
We're
on that
pirates.
because his name is Mutiny
Yeah,
Teddy?
I know, right?
And we were being pirates.
And I
We
was
were
like,
pirates.
I don't think she's gonna take us to the outpost, so we killed her. She did. Now this is kind of the sucky part about the game is you can like totally like spam a spawn, and like that's what we did pretty much. Is like if you die, you
You come back
eventually
to your
respawn to your
boat
boat,
if your boat's.
and people can just still be there, like if they are. And
Right.
so this poor person kept spawning on our boat, and we kept murdering her. But then eventually she got the upper hand
As
and
you
killed
drove her boat.
Yeah, she got the upper hand and killed Trevor and Kyle.
Yeah.
And then I eventually killed her again, and I got to an island where the boat crashed into the island and started to sink, and I swam to a thing and started firing a cannon to get their attention.
And by that time, they had spawned back at the boat that I'm trying a 4-person boat that is
sail
tough,
yourself.
guys.
Yeah, you
trying
did-
to sail that yourself. It
You
is
did
hard.
well.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, and trying to find out where on this island where you didn't know where you were because you didn't have a map.
Yeah.
Right. But we had a general idea from
Yeah.
the previous mission that we had, or where he had picked up the treasure chest, because it wasn't very far from that we went underwater. So we were able to somehow track back to where Eric was once, because as soon as Trevor and I died, we respawned on the ship with Jeremy.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh.
And then
there-
you find a cannon, and you're
Yeah.
like, I'm going to fire a cannonball, guys. Do you see it?
Yeah, I
Do you
know.
see it? And the
I
whole
don't-
time I was thinking, this is what would happen if we all got lost at sea together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
We'd
anyway,
die multiple times, and
But-
we'd respawn on a new boat and find Eric.
But you had the treasure on the island.
and we returned her to the outpost. We got
turned it
paid.
in.
It was great.
Yeah.
So it's just that thing of that game. I think that game is just. a story machine. Everybody's going to have their own adventure, their own, and I think the way it is right now, there's enough fun to be had for a while. But I feel like some of that gameplay is going to get pretty old if there's not some of the things. Like, I mean, I want the Kraken, I want like sea monsters, I want things that attack my ship and pull me under, or like you know, like you have to fight them. And
I think there was a Kraken actually.
Oh, really?
But I don't. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know if there was in the beta, but
I don't know. I saw there was a thing that was called Kraken Island or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if. But
Anyway,
I think we've all spent quite a bit of
game.
time with that. Yeah. I don't. Trevor, did you
Well,
say you had something you wanted to talk about on that?
I had another story from. I played a little bit last night with somebody, and so we decided to end the time we played by sailing off the edge of the map. So it was actually this kind of somber, like not somber, but this like kind of nice moment. It
Flat
felt like the
Earthers?
end of a movie. Well, we were playing some music on the boat, and it was the kind of the quieter, more like subdued song, and it was just this nice moment. And then we got to the edge of the map, and suddenly like there's this music tone that just it's one of those like one of those uneasy like like the
Something's gonna happen.
ringing.
Like the violin, like
And then, yeah, and then the sea all turns like blood red around you. And it's
now
just
I
like,
want to do it.
oh crap! so then your ship just starts getting random holes in it, and so we were just down there banging it. You know, trying to, eventually, it just like eventually we just respawned. And I don't. He said he didn't see the boat, but then I saw it. But then we like respawned for real. So it was.
Now I want to go do that just for the sake of
It was.
seeing it.
Yeah, it was so weird.
so it does sound like
real quick, sorry, Kyle, not to interrupt you. Hey, Fun Size Vlogs, I want to
Hey.
welcome you to the chat. They say your setup looks amazing. How do you not have more views?
Okay.
Do you do this for a living? We do not do this for a living. This
We'd
is
love
currently
to.
a hobby. We're trying to make it into something that would be more resembling a living. Right now, we do not make hardly any money doing this, but thank you for watching, and please stick around and share it with your friends if you can. We would really appreciate that.
click that heart.
Yeah, please click the heart. Follow is much appreciated. Kyle, what were you saying?
No, I was gonna say I was looking because you got me curious about the Kraken, and it does look like there was a data mine that revealed that there is going to be a Kraken.
Yeah, I thought they were.
I thought I saw.
news about it.
And it says that there's a bunch of different stuff that they are saving for release date.
Which is cool because I want that
that's-
surprise. I don't want all of it.
Yeah,
I don't want
like
to feel like
given
I
away.
played the game.
That
out.
was the
Yeah.
problem
Yeah.
with Destiny was when because the very first one I played the alpha and I was like, this will be really cool.
Yeah, and then there wasn't.
yeah.
And I think honestly, Trevor, you hit something right there. Which I was thinking too is like, that's people's fear. I think because Bungie kind of screwed us over with that first Destiny beta because it was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is going to be great because you're just imagining everything they're
How
going to
much
do, and then when
bigger.
you
Right.
got it, you're like, oh, it's just more of
Oh.
this beta. Like,
Yeah.
So I think everybody's a little worried that hey, is this going to be another thing where they're going to pull the
Yeah.
wool over our eyes, and then this is
right.
all
Well,
we're
and
gonna get.
and especially
So-
with a lot of the multiplayer games that are out there. I mean, it seems like there is a large chunk of it that's just a repetitive loop. Even like your Call of Duty type of stuff that you go out and you play with people for a match, and then it's all the same thing. It's just a matter of what new tweaks did they have in this next version or whatnot. So the idea that you've got a beta that has produced as much fun as this had, and they are saying that there's a lot of stuff that they were keeping hidden and didn't expose to people during the beta or the alpha.
Well, we
really,
know, we already know there's like a potion like shop, but nobody was manning
Right.
it, and a couple other places that
Yeah.
you couldn't go into yet, and so yeah.
And there's also like not I don't know what's called, is it guilds or factions? I think there's factions too that you can level up different factions, and you can like get golden versions of the equipment you currently have. I don't know if they're how much better they are, but like I don't. It's kind of
Well, all the ones that they had that they have currently in the beta, they didn't change anything. They just were cosmetic.
Was there? I heard too, and Jeremy, you might be able to speak to this better because you played more of the alpha. But I'd heard that there was stuff in the alpha that was not in the beta. Like there were certain
Yeah, there was so like we went to a bunch of different islands and they had the skeletons and whatnot. And we went to a couple outposts where they had different things. I joined a crew of 4, and had we been willing to work together or talk on mics, it probably would have went better.
Yeah,
but
right.
there's actually there was a mission where your job actually was to take over another team's boat And so like people were trying to do that with each other. Like, and so everyone, it was like this big sea battle basically happening because your goal was basically to steal someone else's boat, similar to the way we did, but all with like 4-player, boats.
Right.
And there was more to it and stuff like that. But there's also like we went and dug up chests on land. There was one that I did where you actually had to discover where it was at in the water, and you had to work together as a team in order to get low enough and get it and stuff like that. So there's some more because the depth of that water is
crazy,
significant.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot I think that's gonna build on that.
I wanted to acknowledge a couple things in the chat. Login Fail says you guys haven't had fun until you threw up in a bucket, throw it at each other. Check that off our list.
That is true. We did that.
We did that a couple times at least. There was one point where I was talking. I think it was Jeremy and Kyle and I were all like kind of standing around together talking, and Trevor comes up with a bucket of vomit from the bottom deck and just throws it at us.
There also was just a giant puke fest with Eric, Trevor, and I
at the
after the ship had been destroyed, and Jeremy was like way out on his own again. That we just
and today the beta's over today.
Today's the last day to play. So we just we drank
but it comes
at a
out
pub.
next month.
No, it's March.
March.
Sorry.
Yeah.
March 20th, I think.
But yeah, it is a lot of fun. Fun Size Vlog says have been waiting for it since spring of 2017. Can't wait. I've literally gone to 7 streams trying to talk about this. So how did you get the beta? If you go to Xbox, Kyle kind of led me onto this one, and I don't know if I don't think I was pre-approved for anything.
The alpha was harder,
but the beta.
Get.
But if you're on Xbox, you can just go to the Insider Xbox app. You download that. And then you just go and say you're interested in playing it, and it just let me download it. So
they opened that up for the beta. I think you and I were both in the alpha, and maybe Trevor.
I was in the alpha.
Right.
I never played it, though.
We got an email that basically gave us more information about.
But at this point, if you're wanting to get in tonight, after our show, you want to watch this. But then after that, go to the Xbox, download the Insider app, and you could probably get on still a little bit tonight. It's probably going to go to midnight or something.
I don't know the exact close time.
We're 27 minutes into the show. We still have not even talked about Monster Hunter. I hate to move on from Sea of Thieves here, but that game is excellent, and we're going to probably spend a lot more time on that and hopefully do quite a few more streams once that game is actually officially out. But I do want to talk a little bit about Monster Hunter here. Jeremy, I think you haven't played it.
I have not played it, no. I thought about it, but as more you guys talked about it, I knew I'd have to only play it. And so I was just like, I'm just going to wait.
Kyle, you spent about an hour with it so far. You are not very far in.
I played about an hour last night, got through the creation and getting to the actual city settlement, whatever it is, and then spent another hour and a half tonight. So I've gone through. Okay. I've fought a couple monsters, the smaller monsters, and then I fought one big monster off before calling it quits and heading over here. I feel a little lost, which I kind of expected, just because of different things that I'd heard and being new to the franchise. I kind of expected that. But I'm enjoying it. I just am kind of hoping that everything will eventually start to really click, and then it'll feel like it's moving a little faster. Because
there's a big tutorial, right?
I mean, Eric said you were like what 7 or 8 hours in, and there's still a lot of tutorial that you're still in.
Yeah, it's still a majority.
Yeah. It'll feel very tutorial-y for a long
How many
time.
hours have you played, Trevor? You think? I know it shows every time you load the game, so that's why I didn't.
I can't remember. It's probably at least 12, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. But see, and part of the problem though is I can't really say because I've done a lot of like other stuff. Like I go on the expeditions a lot. So.
Welcome to the chat. Why did you slap me? He says, "Can we play the Ram Ranch? A song called Ram Ranch? Probably not right now, but stick around. Maybe things will change.
More,
But yeah, the Monster Hunter thing, I really want to be into this game. I think they've done a lot of like quality of life improvements over like the DS versions and the other versions that have been around. Yeah. I'm 8 hours in. I feel like I'm still just like every time I go out on an expedition or like a quest, I come back and then there's like 5 more tutorials waiting for me. And I'm just like, holy crap, like I'm not remembering any of this stuff. And like there's so long, like it's so much reading, I get bored with it. And I like almost like I'll look at my phone and then I'll like forget I was playing the game. But it seems like a game that you really, really have a lot that you have to dive in. You have to like, I don't know. I'm not saying I don't like the game because I think that it's really appealing to me, and the idea of going and hunting these monsters is fun. Sometimes the time restraints are a little frustrating. But I don't know. And maybe I just need to research the monster I'm hunting better and like figure out what weapon to use. I kind of went to the bow because I'm like, oh, it's long range, and I just really stuck with it. But maybe I need try a different weapon or something like that.
The bow's pretty good. I started with a bow, and then I've been playing with the charge sword, I think it's called, which is like it's got a sword and shield. Then you combine the sword and shield, and it's like this big old axe. And I have not really necessarily found it's going any faster than it did with the bow. I do like the bow. There's a lot of fun.
Teddy says it's too in depth for the likes of Eric, and I don't. I mean, I get what
it's a very different game.
I don't know that
that was a jab.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, there are certain games. I think a lot of times, like I try to play a little of every game. Like I try to beat every big game that comes out. Like it's like my goal, and I fail at that a lot.
Play a lot of games,
but I think when it's something like this where it's so systems like focused, like hey, you got to learn a million systems and you got to figure all this out. And it's like a lot of times I maybe in this Kyle, I know he experiences this too, but in the back of your head you're just like, I don't know if I got time for this.
I mean, aren't you
like,
just like taking your sword and slashing big
it's
monsters?
so much more.
It's more than that.
Extremely stripped down.
Yeah,
I mean,
the thing is, what you're essentially doing is you're doing a lot of research. And just from like the first big or bigger monster that you fight, like in order to find him, you've got to find the footprints that then will help eventually
tracking.
lead you to it. So there's the tracking aspect, and I haven't even gotten to any of like the actual research about what weapon is better. All the screens that I'm looking at when I'm like looking at weapons for me still are like I have no idea what I'm looking at with this.
Oh, that doesn't change, and there is no research about weapons. It's just what I meant by that is you got to try them all and figure out what you like.
Oh,
There's like 14 weapon types, and that's all the weapons in the game, and you get them right away. Mm-hmm. You can upgrade them, but that's just it. The thing that's weird is that the progression is not like I think if you're coming into this thinking this is an RPG or an action RPG, and you're like this is what I want to play. It is, but it's a very, very different type of RPG because your character doesn't progress. You don't get your character doesn't get like stronger levels. You don't level up. There's none of that in this game. But what you do is as you kill monsters, you get better equipment and your equipment levels up. So you build better equipment, you build better armor and better weapons, and that's how you defeat the monsters. So that intrigues me because it's cool because you can become what I would imagine is eventually you would be so overpowered that when you encounter the smaller monsters, you can just like clean house with them like with no problem. So yeah, but I don't know.
So it's like Batman.
It's not doing that.
You know?
Batman. What?
Yeah,
Batman.
because he's only as good as his tools, right?
Yeah. No.
I was trying to jab at Eric. It
I
failed.
guess.
I wasn't, and I wasn't insinuating that Kyle was having the same issue as me. I just know that, like, Kyle's expressed sometimes his game fatigue of like, hey, I've got so many things to play. That's what I was kind of hinting.
Yeah, I have a lot of that where I've just am like, how am I ever going to get through all of these with as much time and everything is put in? And I mean, I'm enjoying it so far. I think that it's just one of those that it's so different from anything that I have played. That I think that it's one of those things that it's going to take a larger amount of time to really feel like I'm in the groove with the game. Mm-hmm.
And you do, and I think that's the thing is it's going to be a time investment, and I'm like looking at it going, all right, do I really want to invest the time in this?
I will say that the training grounds are really nice because then they'll kind of put some stuff up and
because that's where you have the big leather pillar and then the barrels and stuff.
Well, and
then
that's all the
weapons
combos and stuff like. And so it makes you kind of understand what the weapon's meant to do.
And that's why I was saying earlier, I think that I'm feeling better about this game because I know at least from, I mean, I'm sure that could change, but from the games that I am aware of that are coming out in the next 2 months, it isn't until the end of March that anything that I'm really excited about is coming out that would be like
So you're saying you have time to play some monster trucks?
No, Monster Hunter World. Not Monster
sorry.
Trucks. I don't know that I'll ever have time for Monster Trucks
All right.
in that form. So
Yeah, and obviously by stuff in March, you're talking about Sea of Thieves. So that's true. That is in March.
yeah, I mean, there's
there's not a lot of games coming out. Like I know Shadow of Colossus looks really good. They've done a lot of work for that, but that's coming out soon.
Yeah, I don't know if
and that's gonna be incredible.
Yeah, I don't. Remastered games just don't excite me that much. If I've played them before, they just don't really excite me as much.
I've never played it before, so I'm really excited.
I've played a decent enough chunk that I'm like, I don't really know if I want to go back and play that.
Lame.
I know.
Let's see.
That's what I am.
I played a little bit of The Last Guardian, and like I kind of like some aspects of it, but then the whole pet thing just kind of bothered me. I don't know.
No pet can replace Boris.
No, it just felt really time consuming to try and get the AI to do what you wanted, and maybe that's what they wanted it to be, but it just felt tedious.
It's kind of like when you try to get your cat to do something, Trevor.
Well, yeah,
It's
but
just like that. It's
I don't know.
tedious.
Really important question, Trevor. Did you name your Palico
yes.
Boris?
Yes, and I designed him to look like Boris, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, my other question: did you get Aloy?
Not yet, because
You
I
haven't done that one yet.
You have to be like a 4-star or 5-star hunter, I think, in order to do it. It's kind of making me a little nervous because it goes away on the 3rd
Yeah, I thought it was the 8th.
or the 8th.
I think it's the 8th.
Because I'm
You
just
better
like
get to playing.
Yeah, I guess now I feel like I'm under a time crunch. Thanks, Trevor.
The one thing I will say real quick about the Last Guardian is are not the Last Guardian, Shadow Colossus. They have updated the control scheme from the original game to be more modernized, so that
nice.
like, if you haven't played the game, it would be a really excellent time to try it. It's I mean, it is. I'm obviously gonna proselytize it because it is like one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. Yeah. But it's cool. Let's get into the games of the month, shall we?
Games of the week.
Or the week.
We know you can't wait to
Why'd
get
I
your
say
grubby
month?
little hands on them.
I was looking at the word month and said month. All right, here we go. We're going to snap through these really quick. Here you go. These are games that are coming out this week. February 1st. That's tomorrow. It's Battalion 1944. It's early access, so it's not necessarily, or is it coming out of early access?
I think it's coming out of early
Okay,
access.
and I'm not familiar with this game. It's obviously a war game from the
There
40s.
gonna be guns.
World War II.
Nazis.
Do we know what kind? Is it first person? Is
First
it
person.
RTS? Is it,
I think
okay,
so.
first
Cool.
person shooter. All right, so if you want some more, I don't know. Whatever that is. Check it out. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's like a weird thing that we don't know about, and that's good. Skyforce Reloaded is coming out on the Nintendo Switch on tomorrow. That's tomorrow, February 1st. We Were Here Too is coming out on the PC, February 2nd, which is a very unique name.
We were here too. Hey.
EA Sports UFC 3, that is releasing on PS4 and Xbox One on
Ronda
the
Rousey gonna
2nd,
be in it?
February 2nd. Anybody can be in it because you can create your own character and stick your face in it like all the EA games.
Oh, nice.
So you can make Kyle UFC fighter
and get his face punched in.
and get it all bloodied up.
Oh man.
It does look, that part of it does look like really fun in a very dumb way. Like I would love to put all of us in it.
Yeah.
So we can
And
beat
then-
each other's
Who's-
faces.
So who's getting UFC 3 so that we can do this?
And then
I don't
have
want to now.
and then like kind of have like a
A tub match.
Tub match.
Tub
sorry.
Royale, Battle Royale.
Yeah,
Well, I guess that'd be a little more.
No, but you'd have to have like a bracketed thing, and we'll have to crown a champion.
Tournament. Tournament was what we were looking for.
And yes, I've been talking about it already. Shadow of Colossus is out on the 6th. This game, I mean, it was so like ugly when you look back on the original PS2 version of it now. It's just like, ooh, this is gross looking. But they have done such a good job at remastering it. It looks gorgeous. And it's like one of the sentiments that I've heard that I kind of echo is that because of this upgrade, you have much more empathy for these monsters that you are murdering because they were just kind of like these gray, blurry blobs of hair and rock, and you're just like, murder. And now they look, I don't know, they just have a little more life to them. And it's like, oh, I kind of feel bad about jamming my sword in your skull right now. But the thing about this game is like,
Adam Sandler really loved it.
what? I don't know. What are you talking
In
about?
Reign Over Me.
Okay. Anyway,
it's a movie
I
that
know
Adam
he played
Sandler's
in it,
in. He
but it has
played
nothing
this game a lot.
Yeah, a lot. I don't.
In the
well,
movie, yeah.
Okay. Anyways, this has nothing to do with that. Kyle's on a
little
tangent. No, it doesn't. I mean, other than the game was in the movie, this has nothing to do with that.
There's a big plot line in the movie.
Okay.
Was that he played this game constantly.
First Kanye, now Adam Sandler. Come on.
Yeah.
I would just say that this
Great night.
that this would it's just you should give it a shot. That's all I'm saying. They say stream that. So okay, we'll do a stream of UFC 3. You heard it here first. Trevor, buy that game. You buy everything.
Yeah,
All right, so, buy it for something we got in the studio. Then Marooners, not Moroners, but Marooners. But if you buy it, you might be a Moroner. It's coming out on February 6th on PS4 and Xbox One. I don't know. This might be great. I'm sorry if I called you a moron, but anyways. Obviously, yeah, and this game is also great because Adam Sandler played it a lot, so you might want to check it out.
No, I think that it's the Lucky Charms.
This isn't the one that Mario and Rabbids did, and they just added other characters.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's jump in the news.
Keeping you in the loop with the latest gaming news.
That's right, we're keeping you in the loop, keeping us in the loop. We're all staying in the loop with the latest and greatest gaming news. This is a hot one coming hot off the presses all the way from yesterday. This one comes to us from the Verge.com, and it says EA confirms it. Anthem is delayed till 2019.
Well,
cry.
it's not quite delayed. They've
Oh, really?
said it's not a delay. Instead, EA views the move as an opportunity to give Anthem a chance to get more attention as a new property than if it were forced to compete in a more crowded fall marketplace. So,
Well, it's delayed
They're
still.
going to. It's not a delay though.
Oh. It's a tactical repositioning of the release date.
Tactical repositioning of the release date.
Okay,
Basically saying that they're not good enough to go head to head with everyone else.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
But we want to play EA's version of Destiny.
Yeah.
We want to.
I'm actually really excited about this game.
I
They
am
have
too.
thrusters.
It's BioWare. There's a lot going for it. There's a lot good going for it. I just hope that it is good.
Yeah.
Like I
and
just
that it's
really,
not Mass Effect Andromeda.
I don't know that they could ever like recreate that. I think that's just like an anomaly that just
That
like
was-
somehow they just took this beloved franchise and
just
flushed it down
murdered
the
it.
toilet.
Just
Like,
Maybe
like-
that was the goal. I don't know.
Stabbed it in the face right in front of you.
We're sick of making Mass Effect games. Stop
Put
asking
the
for
nail
it.
in that.
Like,
Thanks.
I just wonder how. I want someone to do a documentary on how that happened. Like, I'm so curious. I don't like. They're like, let's see. We need better face like technology. Someone get the Sims guy in here. EA, let's share
Yeah.
our resources. We want to share the resources here at EA and put Sim facial features on all of these characters. You know, they really emotes well. Wouldn't it?
Trevi says it looks like Mass Effect. I think it looks like a Mass Effect version of Destiny.
Well, and then when I saw it, it almost looks like it's got a little bit of Monster Hunter in it because it looks like you're just hunting these ginormous things.
And it's also, it's the only thing is I wouldn't say it's like Mass Effect as much because these suits look similar. But if you've seen the trailer, I mean, these you get in the
more-
suit and you're flying like rocket, like Iron Man, pretty much. Like
So it's like Titanfall meets Mass Effect.
because you don't really
meets
fly
Destiny.
in Titans. Like,
Oh, that's true. You don't fly.
kinda-
I'm just
I
trying
was
to
just
figure
thinking
out
about
who's going to be which characters.
okay.
Trevor will be
Trevor's
the big guy on the left.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys know me.
Kyle will be the guy with the glowing legs.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm the
I
guy
like
that's
flash it.
furthest back, and Jeremy's the one that's like
And I'm flying
flying.
ahead.
Yeah,
And
Jeremy's
that's only
already-
because I would have picked either one of the middle two, but by character type.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
definitely me.
It's because
Yeah.
Jeremy already has played through this mission
Yeah.
like 4 times.
And I'm going to tell you how to do it.
Eric's played it. Trevor's played it once at least. Eric may have. I haven't.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
feel
just
like
trying to
this
enjoy
shows
this.
us playing a game.
Yeah, it really
it
is.
is.
It's a very great screenshot.
Teddy, I'm glad you mentioned Dark Void. I almost brought that up, but then I was just like, nobody knows Dark Void.
Everybody
anymore.
knows Dark Void, Trevor. No, not really. But no, it does kind of have that vibe too.
They did say that they will be releasing a new Battlefield title in the fall to fill the vacant slot in the schedule. though they
did
don't
like
have
Battlefield
any.
1.
What is it going to be? Battlefield.
It'll be a new map.
2.
Battlefield
Yeah.
Cop Edition
Battlefield
again.
Cold War,
Gosh, not that again.
where
It'll
you
just have
don't
new
really do a
maps.
whole lot.
It'll just
Don't
have-
they need to also get the whole monetization and like loot boxes back into Battlefront too?
I think that they did actually do
Oh,
that.
they
I
did that
saw
already?
that. I
about-
saw an article earlier today that they are in the works of putting those back into Battlefield
Yeah.
2.
This will be
Nice.
Battlefield Origins.
Oh.
Or Battlefront, I mean.
There'll be a bunch of cavemen charging at each other.
They'll be in Egypt though.
That actually sounds like fun. It's just a whole bunch of like a
100,
Good cave
sticks.
fighting.
100 cavemen emerge from primordial
Oh,
ooze
and
onto
they'll
an
be-
island.
And they'll be fighting 50 v 50.
yeah. Or it'll just be kind of like PUBG, but with
Yeah, that's-
a bunch of cavemen that have no weapons and just are murdering each other
Could
with
you
rocks.
imagine? You just find rocks or sticks, and that's your go-to. I
Yeah.
love this idea.
You level up and you get a bigger rock.
Right. Instead of some shrinking mysterious blue circle, it's just a herd of like saber tooths that are just like slowly moving in, and if they get to you, they eat you.
But it's okay because there's a mini game. Because every time you find a cave, you have to do a finger painting.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. We should be in game development, boys.
Someone pay us.
All right, next story comes from EGMNow.com. And I want to preface this one just a little bit because I kind of picked the most outrageous title for this story, where this story has been floating around the internet, and maybe it's a little bit misleading. So,
Yep.
Little.
This headline says Microsoft reportedly looking into buying EA Valve PUBG Studio. Now it's saying this is like one of these, maybe potentially they're looking into purchasing, acquisitioning, I guess would be a word, of EA, Valve, or PUBG. Now, this came from a Polygon article, which we probably should have used that one, but it was like it was just kind of a thing. And even the author of that, he kind of like pumped the brakes and said, "Now this is just a rumor." And that maybe, some dude talked to some dude, and that maybe there were some talks about this. And I mean, the internet kind of, and all the headlines became, Microsoft is going to buy these things.
Which is what they wanted.
Yeah. And so there's a little trepidation there as we get into the story. But
Yeah, it's. I mean, really, that's kind of the story right there. Is that it is something that Microsoft is looking potentially to acquire a new publisher, and it's been rumored that EA, Valve, or PUBG Studio, is it Bluehole?
it's
No,
called
no, it's
Korea
PUBG. It's-
something.
It's
PUBG
so
Korea
Here's
Studio.
why I
Korea,
think
okay.
that's the most plausible. Bluehole specifically spun off prior to release of the full game. The PUBG Studios. It's separate from Bluehole.
Yeah.
I felt like that was intentional so that they could sell the franchise.
Probably.
Maybe.
And Microsoft would be the right team to do it
mean,
with the
there-
other acquisitions they've done.
There's definitely some like possibilities there. I think because when you look at Microsoft and the way that they're struggling with first party development, they're releasing their first. They're going to release their. Hey, who followed us?
Thanks,
Jay
Jay
Dollars.
Hey, thank you for
Thank
following.
you for the follow. We appreciate that very much. You are loved, and you are now in the warm waters of the tub. Now all our body juices are mixing into a nice soup. It could be plausible because I mean, in some ways,
Trevor's face.
because if you think about it, like they need more first party games.
Yeah.
They're doing the games. What's it? The game access game, $9.99 a month. I forgot what
Yep.
that's called. Where you get like the Netflix of games, and you could see them like going, okay, hey, if we're going to actually do this, where we're going to try to have original content for our gaming service, we need more, and they have the money. Now, I think like buying Valve would be kind of insane, but they could do it. Like if Gabe was interested in it, because it's like Valve.
That's what I mean.
Valve's just sitting on its laurels, not doing anything. Like it's just like
They're
it's just
separated out from
coasting.
Steam, aren't they? Or
No, that's what that would be. If they bought
okay.
Valve, they would own like the gaming market on PC, which would kind of make sense in some ways, but also be a weird
Yeah.
monopoly in others. But I think the thing is like. What is Gabe doing with? I mean, Steam is just making money hand over fist, but
Yeah,
they're not
a
really
platform,
they're not really
really.
innovating that much. They're not. Where's
Right.
Half-Life 3? That's probably never going to come. Like it's just this thing of like, what are they? I could totally see Microsoft buying Valve and announcing Half-Life 3 just to like be like, here it comes, guys. We're gonna do it now.
Got a gun to the game's back. And gonna
I
put
think
it out.
I think that those two make the most sense. EA, I think, would be such an enormous undertaking to buy because of how much EA controls.
And let's be honest, they would ruin what EA is, even though EA's
Well,
not.
wouldn't that be good?
Well,
I mean, they would ruin it in a good way, right?
I think that the biggest problem with
but
that
we're not
is
EA. We're not sports gamers, so there's.
I think the
difference there.
biggest problem with EA is their sports games because of the fact that they have the relationships with all the different major sports companies to
Licensing.
the licensing to bring all of those things exclusive to Xbox.
That wouldn't happen. I don't think that would happen. I think what would happen is Microsoft would treat it like Minecraft. They own Mojang, and the Minecraft, they still kept it. That was everybody's fear when they bought that. Like,
That's why
they're going to remove it.
That's why I think PUBG makes the most sense because it's similar.
Well, I mean, yeah, but they put Minecraft on everything though. They have it on PlayStation. They have it on.
They did,
Nintendo,
but I think that's a little different than one game that you buy that can make you that money, and buying that big a publisher that has
but
that
think
deeply
about
integrated
how
into
smart that would
everybody.
be if that was the case. Buy it, and then only
Now
everybody's
they
going to
own-
buy.
now they own
Everybody that wants to play
esports.
those sports games are going to buy Xboxes.
Yep.
Like, I mean, that would be kind of a weird hostage situation for them to do it, and probably make them lose money.
Right.
But that's why I think they wouldn't do it. I think that if they bought EA, they would just say, all right, there's certain games that are always we're managing this. They're always
We're
going to be on
getting it
all
first.
consoles.
Yeah.
Maybe there's exclusives to Xbox that we work out, but they would be dumb if they were to buy this huge moneymaker and then say, oh, we're going to try to force people to buy Xbox. Like, I don't know. But I get what you're saying.
EA,
that makes
EA
it
just seems like it is too big. There's too many. I mean, you've got all the different things that are going on with the loot boxes and everything else. I feel like that would be something that potentially would be the easiest to blow up in their faces if they were to make that purchase, trying to create more first party games.
I think the most like next logical step would be like maybe the PUBG studio. Like, I could see that because it's an easy thing for them to kind of maintain and then keep it from Sony. I don't know.
And I mean, the Valve would make perfect sense too, because they are trying to make everything that back and forth with the Microsoft crossplay between PC and Xbox.
And I think the hang up there with Valve is like, they have no reason to sell. They don't need to sell. They're making tons of money. Unless Gabe was just like, I'm bored with this, I want to move on in my life and do something else and take this huge fortune that I got from selling my company. But like, there's no reason for him to sell if he's not interested. So it's like,
It's either make a bunch of money right now or make even more money like over your lifetime.
So I don't know. There's
And
a lot
be
of
more known. I mean, that's
Yeah.
like when I think you have a company of that size, it at some point it becomes less about just making more money, unless you're ready to retire,
Yeah.
than it is I want to be known.
Yeah.
And
it's an interesting thing to hyperbolize and guess what it's going to be, and this could all be just garbage. Like, it's just a rumor. So,
but just tell everybody if it's true. You heard it here first.
Yeah. Teddy says crossplay is just a gimmick. At this point, I don't think it's a priority.
Probably not. But it's nice.
I don't know that it's a gimmick because, like,
Yeah,
especially with this Sea of Thieves things, it works seamlessly. Like, you could play on your console or your Xbox and on a PC with someone else, no problems. Like, 4 players can be on whatever platform they want to be, and it's very smooth. So I wouldn't call it a gimmick. I think in some ways it could hurt them more than anything, because it could be like, why do I need to buy an Xbox? Like, I can just get everything that I would ever want on my PC and a PlayStation. I could own those 2 things and be covered.
You're thinking hardcore gamers, though.
Yeah, I am. I think because I think a lot of people want a plug and play option, and they're willing to pay $500 for an Xbox One X because they're like, oh, I can have like a top tier.
Yeah, and
experience.
I know I don't have to touch this box.
And I don't have
it's
to
just
install
gonna work.
software. I don't have to deal with that. And I think that's where a lot of hardcore gamers kind of like discredit that kind of a gamer. But anyways, next story comes from Kotaku.com. It says infamous Atari player disqualified from world record after 35 years.
Yeah, this guy had apparently cheated with the world record that he did.
It's not conclusive.
It's not conclusive. However, this was something that in 1982 he recorded a time on a drag racing game of 5.51 seconds in the Atari 2600 game Dragster. Last year, some speedrunners were playing it, called the score into question because using all of the different stuff that they have now to try and simulate that and get the absolute, this is what the fastest speed is. The fastest they could get was a 5.57.
That was even using a computer.
And using a computer to process
yeah.
and do all the assisted speedrun stuff. The fastest they were able to get was a 5.57. They said as of today, 13 speedrunners have the 5.57 record. Nobody's hit 5.51 despite his claim. And I guess Activision's internal testing during the 1980s gave them a theoretical optimal time of 5.54 seconds, which makes it unlikely that he would have ever hit 5.51.
But he's got a ton of other records
Right.
as well. But
Right.
his big
So
one
he
is
is-
this one because it gave him the longest standing record.
Right. It had been a record for 35 years.
Yeah.
So they've taken it away from him. I guess at one point there was an article or something that said that two other people had that time, but there was no way to validate it, no names or anything with the other two people.
Imagine being, Teddy says that was this guy's peak. And I'm just like, yeah, imagine that being your claim to fame. And then like having it taken away from you when you realize you were cheated.
He's heavily known for being good
not
at
nice to
every
talk
game,
about anybody.
basically. Yeah. Because he had like the world record for Centipede and for a whole bunch of other games. But now they threw out all of his records because of this one. They basically said he is not trustworthy. All of his number one records,
Good for
are
him. Good.
gone. All of his records,
He's
period,
essentially
are gone.
been banned, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he got
he
the-
can't ever get any listed. Even if he gets the best record, they will
Right,
not list him. He's banned.
Well, good.
He got the Pete Rose treatment.
Like I don't even like. Yeah, it's like almost a non-issue. Like yeah, the cheater gets what he deserves. Finally, someone who's screw up gets the punishment he deserves. Not really. All right, cool. Next story is from IGN.com. Says next Dragon Age will be a live game. Is it organic? Is it
I think
cage
so.
free?
It's
Is it
cage
grain
free.
fed?
Games as a service.
Oh, great! I love that term.
Yeah. So they said
So
reading
it's Cass
Yeah.
something like that.
But you got to pump your own.
with two A's. With two A's.
Right. They said that it means that the designing a game for continued storytelling after the main story. Thus, it will be live afterwards. They said that it will remain a story that's character focused.
So in other words, you can play through the single player experience, but if you want to keep playing, there will be like a live experience.
Right,
Kinda
where
like-
there will be continuing.
So it's Destiny.
Essentially.
No. So they're getting rid of, what do you call it? The
Like the 4-party system.
where they add a whole new set of things you can play and
DLC.
Oh.
DLCs. They're just saying we're gonna have a continual DLC.
Oh, okay.
Always, right? Adding a new.
But are they going to let you like do quests together with online like multiplayer quests, like story quests, or is that just
My guess would be it probably is something that lives on in the way that, I mean, it probably is not a greatest example, but Grand Theft Auto 5, in that you have, and only the difference would be that you're probably taking your character over to play with the online stuff that happens after the story. And it's probably something that the story itself will set up whatever the live living game is afterwards. And then you probably just go around doing
exist?
little stuff here and there and earning money and whatnot.
I'm curious to see what they do. I mean, and here again, it's another BioWare game, so I'm curious to see how. I mean, and all the Dragon Age games have been pretty good. I think when you compare them to other RPGs, I mean, depending on your personal preference, they maybe don't shape up quite as well. But I really like them. I've played probably, I mean, at least. I played Dragon Age. I don't know how far the series goes back, but I've played at least.
I don't think I played the newest one.
I think there was only 3 of them, weren't there?
No, it goes
Well,
back
because there
further
was
to
Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age something, and then Inquisition.
And I've played all three of those, but I feel like there was stuff before that,
Yeah.
but I don't know what those are. They're good games. They're they're that kind of that BioWare flavor of RPG. So I wonder. Hopefully, they don't ruin it like, Mass Effect.
Hopefully, they learned their lesson.
So it looks like there's only 3 main games that have been released: Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, and then Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh, okay.
I could have sworn
There
I
was
heard
an
that
expansion pack for Origins that was Awakening, and then there were some spin-offs that were Dragon Age Legends, Dragon Age Journeys, and
okay.
Heroes of Dragon
No,
Age.
I guess I played all the 3 main games.
I played a good chunk of Inquisition. I never ended up finishing it, but I enjoyed what I had played. I think it was one of those, there's way too many things that are coming out at the same time.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised me because I tried to like Inquisition, but I just didn't really care for it.
Well, I know you had a problem with the combat, which I understand.
I didn't like the combat. Yeah,
Combat's kind of spammy and weird in a way. Like you kind of are just mashing a button a lot of times.
My
so.
biggest problem with it is that I felt so underpowered. Like even on the easiest difficulty level.
Did you pick what class did you play as? So
I tried Wizard first, then I did like Thief and stuff, which I guess that's not really the.
because like when I play like a mage or whatever, it like I felt pretty overpowered towards the end of the game. But maybe it's just
Yeah.
like the
That's-
ramp up is a
yeah.
little.
I don't know.
harder.
I felt it ridiculous, the idea that there was this zombie that we were fighting, and it took all 3 of the guys to kill this one zombie, and it just felt kind of weird.
Oh, okay.
And like I don't know, I appreciate the time and the effort went to it because it was obvious that they put so much thought and work into the game, but it just isn't for me. So
Plus, also, like, didn't Witcher 3 come out about the exact same time as Inquisition was about? Or, like, they were close?
That's what it was.
if it did, there's no mystery why I didn't enjoy it then because I loved.
I think it came out shortly after that.
Okay, that
Like,
could
they
be.
were close enough that it's kind of...
Yeah, they were close. They were released close together. The Witcher 3. The Witcher is just such a different.
It's a
game.
very different game, yeah. And it happened to be more what I liked.
Yeah. We'll see how.
Yeah, it looks like
Didn't they-
Inquisition was November of 14, Witcher was May of 15, so 6 months.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is 6 months. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. So
Alrighty, it wasn't for Trevor. That's fine.
I don't. I'm looking
A lot of
forward
things
to
aren't.
seeing what new titles bring. But yeah,
You're not gonna like it, Trevor.
probably not. It's gonna suck.
You should just give up hope. All right. Should we see what our next segment holds for all of your futures?
New month, more free games.
Oh, I was waiting for Kyle to take this one. This is your games of the month.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was there was something that got deleted in there and moved. It was moved, so I was like, "What's happening there?"
What's happening?
Guys, it's been a long
Sorry,
time
Kyle.
since I've said that.
It has been.
Yeah.
All right, so games of the month, games with gold starts tomorrow. Shadow Warrior is going to be one of the games with gold that's available.
Is that what I'm looking at right now?
I think so.
I couldn't find a very good picture. It's that weird ninja game. There's actually
Where
a
they
Shadow
use
Warrior
machine
2.
guns.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
it's like not really ninja. You play
Okay.
a ninja and you're.
Okay, so that's
a ninja with a gun.
yeah, that'll be available starting tomorrow, the 1st through the 28th. Assassin's Creed Chronicles India is going to be available from the 16th of February
Is that like
to
a
March
portable
15th.
release?
I think it
I
was.
thought it
like
was.
a side scroller. I don't think it was on
okay.
portable actually.
I thought it
But
wasn't
it-
like a Vita game or
Was
something.
it? I don't think it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Teddy, help us.
Yeah, Teddy, was this a Vita game? I get him confused because there was like a couple like.
I don't think this was a Vita game because Vita there was.
There was a whole series of
Well,
the
there's
Chronicles,
Liberation.
though, wasn't
Was
there?
this like a
Liberation, yeah.
3/4 game that like one of those like top down kind of looks or?
No, I think this one was side scroller. I think it was like.
Take
Well,
a
then
look.
you definitely didn't play it.
I was like boring.
Trevor
Yeah.
hates games that
Trevor
are side
doesn't like
scrollers.
anything side scrolly.
I love Little Big Planet.
I guess that is kind of side scrolly, huh?
It's very side scrolling.
Your butt's side scrolly.
You would love
Nope.
Mario Maker.
Nope, I wouldn't.
Why?
No, it's all right.
it's
I
way-
like Little Big Planet way better than I like.
Way,
Yeah.
Mario Maker's way better than Little
It's
Big
God
Planet.
View. No, it's
Sure.
not exactly God View.
It looks like it was kind of the
3D.
Game Boy. I think there was one that came out for Game Boy that
Game Boy. There was no Assassin's Creed on Game Boy.
There was on DS though.
Oh,
yes,
it's about
DS.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I was.
Yeah, it's a side scroller with weird 3D
I forgot the titles
pieces
of those.
tied into it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a side scroll. Anyways, moving on.
Yep. And then for your Xbox 360, you've got Split Second from the 1st to the 15th.
Free game.
Free game.
Jeremy,
And
are you
then,
excited about this one?
No, the next one though.
Oh.
Crazy Taxi, the
Yay.
16th through the 28th.
Easy taxi.
Love that
So
game.
if you want to, if you want
Such a
to
good game.
get your kicks,
I don't know if
in
is it
San
really a
Francisco.
good game though.
Oh,
Still,
I love Crazy Taxi.
I mean, it was when at
a
its
good game.
time.
I said
Maybe
I
it's
love.
not. I don't know.
I just don't know that it
It's not.
holded up because I played it on my phone and when it came out, and I was just
Yeah,
like,
because it's available on
maybe
iPhone.
it's the controlling on the screen that I hate, but still, it just I don't. It's
Well,
just it
here's
wasn't
how we
as
find
fun
out.
as I
On the
remember.
16th, let's all download it and let's all play it, and then we'll come back here,
Do it every
say
week.
whether it still holds up.
Okay, I might. I'm definitely download it because it's free, but I don't know that I'll play it.
Oh, just give it 5 minutes.
5 minutes,
Make-
okay. I'll
make your
commit to
kids
it.
play it.
Okay, I'll commit to 5 minutes.
Ask your kids if
Yeah,
they're
tell
fun.
your
If
kids to
they're fun.
play it. See if they enjoy
I
it.
got it. I remember getting it on Dreamcast, and I loved it. I
Oh,
spent
yeah.
hours with that game. But like, I just
You have
like
to remember what the competition was at that
Yeah,
time.
I know. And going back to it, I mean, I don't know that it holds up. But anyways,
Yeah,
go ahead.
probably.
It may not hold up. For PlayStation Plus,
This is
gonna
awesome
be-
because I never bought this game, so
yeah,
I'm really
this
excited.
This is going to be coming out next Tuesday, I believe, is when they make that available. RiME, which was new last year, I believe, like
Yeah, late
May
last
or something, and then it was like November that it released on the Switch.
Yeah.
So this is free. Again, I the same way. I saw this and I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Because
I'm really glad I didn't buy it.
Not
Yeah,
a
I
really
was-
large game, right?
No, I don't
pretty
think so.
small.
I think
I
it's
thought it's
a,
like less than 10 hours.
yeah, it's
Something
a. I think it's a smaller puzzle game.
Yeah.
I don't think it has. I don't think it's the depth of what was the other puzzle game on PlayStation, The Witness. I don't think it's that in depth or
it's
anything.
not. It has a similar art style, so I think people got it confused. But it's there. Yeah, there's no
I think it's
connection there.
it's a much simpler game
Yeah.
from what I understand. Knack is going to be available for PlayStation 4 as well. Spelunker HD for PlayStation 3.
Not to be confused with Spelunky. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I had to look. It's apparently a remake of an old game.
Oh, okay.
An old game.
I was gonna say, wait, is this just like a weird knockoff of
It
Spelunky?
looks like it looks exactly like a weird knockoff of Spelunky.
So Spelunky's a weird knockoff of Spelunker, really.
Maybe
Probably.
I don't know. Spelunky is actually really old too.
Yeah, but Spelunky's an awesome game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Mugen Souls Z. I don't know.
Muggin Souls.
Muggin.
Everything
So-
with a Z, right?
Yeah,
It's
so
Muggin
there's your
Souls.
there's your anime-esque.
Yeah.
It looks like.
It's anime.
I love the objectification of women, especially when they're made to look really young. Yeah, I want to play this.
Look at this weird teenage girl.
Anyways,
Yeah.
press.
Move
Anime
to the
is
next
still
one,
creepy.
Kuipers. I don't want to look at that anymore. Exile's End for PlayStation Vita. So there you go, Teddy. PlayStation End. And also Grand Kingdom for PlayStation Vita. And that one is also going to be available on PlayStation 4 as well.
Is it really a Grand Kingdom?
It is a grandest,
It's so great.
the grandest of kingdoms.
Okay. All right.
So
That's cool. Are there any other games? Or is that all of my free ones?
I saw something that there. I think if you are a new PlayStation Plus member, they may be offering Far Cry 4.
Oh, really?
I don't know if that's accurate. I saw an article,
crazy.
and they said that would be something that was for new, not like returning or anything like that, but it would be for brand new PlayStation Plus. If you don't have PlayStation Plus and you've got a PlayStation, might look into seeing if that is something that is actually being done. It was something that was rumored to have been done yesterday, so I didn't see anything.
I seriously think I have my Plus just for the free games because I don't hardly play any PlayStation games with multiplayer. Like very rare. Hopefully I do some Monster Hunter stuff, but I just don't know that many people that play multiplayer games there.
Teddy's asking, why aren't you saying the free VR games? The free VR game is actually the same one from last month. So I don't remember what it is, but it's
That
something
something
Quick,
patient.
quick
Yeah.
little VR thing that just brought me back here. There's VR built into Subnautica, so that could be
Oh, yeah.
interesting.
So I
Yeah.
haven't tried
Oh.
that yet.
So
Yeah,
you'll have to
you
let us know if that's
Yeah.
any good.
I'm
Trevor,
probably
you should
kind of
stream
scared
that.
too because that game can be pretty intense at times.
Ronan the Wanderer says so many waifus. Yeah, that's true. There were a lot in that.
Yeah.
That's why we changed the Sly. You know, it just seems weird and gross and creepy sometimes. Yeah. But there's your free games. Enjoy them for free. I mean, really, just think of it as us giving you free games because that's
we're letting you
technically-
know so that you can go and download them and
you
play
would
them
have
for
no
free.
clue if it wasn't for
You're
us.
welcome.
All right,
There's
now
nowhere on the internet to find it.
I'm gonna put on my Speedo and dive right into this mailbag.
Check unheard messages.
Emails, voicemails, or DMs. We want to hear from you.
Mailbox number, please.
It's mail time.
First message.
There you have it. We got farts in our bag. And not
Call us a fart bag.
yeah. We ain't got nothing there for you.
That's your fault, people.
Oh,
I mean-
you're so mean.
Hey, wait,
Please be nice.
Way to end the passive aggressiveness and get aggressive.
That wants to be over.
It is.
Yeah.
I thought that was
If
silence.
you're disappointed as we
Apologies.
are, do something about
Yeah,
it.
no, send us an email at theloop@minuteatub.com with a conversation starter, something you want us to talk about, a question. Maybe you need
game.
advice. Maybe you need to know how to beat a game, and Jeremy will tell you all the hot tips he's got to
Yeah.
offer. He'll dig deep in his drawers. Or you can call us at 475-TUB
Tub
call and leave us a voicemail.
It's 475
Tub
882
call. Oh,
2255.
2255.
Call us.
Yes. That's it for mailbag because we didn't get no mailbag. But before we depart ways, before we go our own way, before yes, yes, before we do that song.
That's just enough to make it stick.
Yeah, you know, just before.
I completely derailed the train there with that.
Before we release our Rumors album, we will Fleetwood Mac ourselves all the way to our Patreon peeps. These are the lovely ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I'm only assuming there are ladies and gentlemen out there that support us on Patreon. They're very kind. They give with their hearts and their wallets. And, you know, it gives us that little bit of coal in our train engine that we need to blow enough smoke out of our stacks. That's an analogy that you can put in your pipe and smoke. There's a lot going on here, but it's really about the Patreon peeps. They blow the fattest clouds. You know, they've got the best Kush stash. They're really the ones that we want to hang with because it's true. Money can buy friends.
Now, how do
Patreon.com/minuteatub. You can visit there and become a Patreon too. These people that you see in the orange are, you know, they're the higher level one. You know, they're the $10 level. They're considered the co-producers.
Yeah,
So
get
we
your
give
name
them
up there.
We give them a little more, and we put their name on there. So, anyways, thanks everybody for doing that. Teddy says, "Why does the mail time intro keep getting longer?" LOL. I don't know that it was long. We haven't changed it.
Nope, it hasn't changed. It's been the same thing.
Same length, always the same.
So I think you're just tired of hearing it
You're
play
feeling
with
guilty.
no.
Yeah.
It's like a build up and no release.
Yeah,
All right.
Teddy,
So
give us a call so that we have something to play,
and have
and then it won't
release.
feel like it's as long.
Yeah. That is correct. So yeah, if you're interested in helping us and supporting us on Patreon, we would really, 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 really appreciate it. Whether you can just do $1 a month, that's just like kind of that encouragement.
Get some stuff.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Anything you can do is appreciated. And if you got suggestions, send them to us. Like if you like,
Yeah.
hey, I would totally sign for Patreon if you guys did this. And then you know what?
Yeah, if we're missing something.
We're the freaking monkeys that would just do it. Like we would
Did you,
just be
did you
like,
see that? Jeremy just mimed taking his shirt off.
Jeremy will do anything for
I
cash.
assume that's where they were going to go.
So if you want some pictures of Jeremy monthly without his shirt on,
Is that's at that secret level?
that's
Yeah.
that secret level for
Yeah,
you.
no one's found that
That doesn't
level
have
yet.
to be secret.
not
You just
when
have
they
to
find
ask.
it. It'll be
Just keep giving at different levels, and then we'll get there. But I think that does it for us. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time for the Tubcast. That's our bathtub topic show.
Yeah.
It's where we like to talk about the latest and greatest in,
All the things.
in tiles and
All
and bathtubs, grouts, linoleum,
plumbing.
Oh, plumbing. We will work your plumbing over. All those
Gaskets,
things. Anything.
O-rings.
Oh, anything that involves bathroom remodeling or
Drains.
construction. Come for that tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Twitch.tv/MinuteTub. Thank you, everyone. I bid you adieu.
Hey, look, there's a bug.
It's a stink bug. They're very
They're a
prominent in this part of the country. When you squish them, their butts explode.